Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Treasurer. Senior Treasury official Mr Nigel Wray has said that under the Turnbull government, Australia is experiencing, and I quote, a prolonged period of below-par growth, the likes of which we have rarely seen outside a recession. Is Mr Wray correct? Is this the economic leadership the Prime Minister promised when he knifed the member for Warringah?
The Treasurer has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The member for McMahon would be very familiar with knives, as would the member for Fowler, who seems to be his current target at the moment, Mr Speaker. But to come to his, question—
Member for McMahon will cease interjecting. He's asked his question. The Treasurer has the call.
Mr Speaker, the government is not in denial. The government is not in denial about the fact that our economy is transitioning from the most significant investment boom we've seen in the mining sector into the post-boom scenario. That's what was happening in the Australian economy at the moment. This might be lost on those opposite, Mr Speaker, but we understand that. And that's why it's so important that we have policies in place that support growth and jobs in our economy. That's why we're doing what we're doing when it comes to trade agreements. That's why we're doing what we're doing when it comes to the rollout of our $50 billion national infrastructure plan. That's why we're embracing competition policy reforms that can drive microeconomic growth at the state and the territory level, Mr Speaker. That's why we are engaged in the innovation statement that will be released shortly, Mr Speaker, to do all the things that will drive growth and jobs, and in particular to have a tax system that backs Australians to work and save and invest, who are out there doing it every day. Now, that's the plan the government is engaged in. Now, the member opposite refers to average long-term growth and obviously includes the mining boom in those figures, Mr Speaker. Well, it's no secret to the Australian people that we've moved on from the investment boom in the mining sector. That is a very understandable position that the Australian people get, and they know that they are having to work through this transition. But they are also realistically optimistic, Mr Speaker, and that's why we're pleased to see the figures that have come out today on business indicators, which show an above-median result on expectations when it comes to gross operating profits, Mr Speaker. We're seeing improvement in those profits. We've seen an improvement also in wages outcomes today, Mr Speaker, the best and strongest increase for the past 2 quarters we've seen since June of 2012, and we've also seen an increase in inventories as well, Mr Speaker. We're getting on with the job of supporting growth and jobs in our economy. Those opposite want to put a carbon maxi tax on the economy, Mr Speaker, a 45% reduction in emissions. On what planet do they think that does not kill jobs and slug the economy? It's only on planet Labor Green, Mr Speaker, where you actually think that you can have an emissions reduction target of 45% and think that that won't have a devastating impact on the Australian economy, Mr Speaker. So we will keep about our plan. We will keep about the progress we're making on these issues, Mr Speaker. We understand the challenges that we face. We make no excuses for them. We just get on with the job of addressing them and assuring Australians can be confident that the government is doing everything within its power to support growth and jobs in our economy.